So you want to get into cybersecurity. Awesome. But let's be real, it can feel like trying to break into a digital fortress with no keys and no map. Well, today, we're going to give you that map. This is your first mission briefing. Let's go.
This is it, right? This is the big question. You hear all these crazy terms, ethical hacking, pen testing, exploit dev, and your brain just kind of melts. It feels impossible to know where to even start.
But here's the secret. You don't. You don't have to learn everything all at once. The trick is having a good map, a clear path to follow. So think of this as your guide. Your journey starts right here, right now.
Look, every single pro out there started at zero. Every single one. They were all beginners at some point, probably fumbling around just trying to figure things out. The key is taking that first logical step. So, what is it?
Okay, here's the game plan, and it's a two-parter. First, you start broad. You master the fundamentals of ethical hacking. This gives you the solid foundation, the big picture of how everything works. Then, once you have that, you specialize. You dive deep into web penetration testing. Why that? Because it is one of the most sought-after skills in the entire industry. It makes you valuable, fast.
All right, you can't go on a mission without your tools. And in the world of hacking, your main tools are programming languages. Now, you don't have to be some kind of code-writing genius, but you absolutely have to understand how software is built if you're going to have any hope of breaking it. And check this out. There's a smart way to learn them. You kick things off with Python. It's super beginner-friendly, so you can focus on learning how to think like a programmer without getting stuck on confusing rules. Next up, C and C++. This is huge. This is how you learn what's really happening down at the core level of a computer, which is where the most serious vulnerabilities live. And finally, since we're specializing in web stuff, you've got to know the basics of HTML, JavaScript, and PHP. You have to know how a website is put together before you can tear it apart. So before we can start attacking or defending anything, we need to understand the battlefield. And in our world, the battlefield is the network. It's the invisible web that connects literally everything, from your phone to a huge corporate server. And the most fundamental piece of that network puzzle? The IP address. The best way to think about it is just like a home address for your computer. If I want to send you a letter, I need your address, right? Same thing online. For Netflix to send you a movie, it needs to know the exact digital address of your device. That's the IP. But here's where it gets cool. You actually have two addresses. Your public IP is like your main street address. It's what the whole internet sees. But then, inside your house, that's your local network, every device has its own private IP. Think of it like a room number. Your laptop is room 101. Your phone is 102. Your router is the front door, making sure all the mail gets to the right room.
Now, obviously, you don't type a long string of numbers every time you want to go to a website. That would be a nightmare. We use names, like google.com. So how does that work? DNS, the domain name system. It's basically the internet's giant phone book. You type in the name, DNS looks up the number, the IP address, and connects you. Super simple, but the entire internet would break without it.
So how does information actually travel? Well, usually it's one of two ways. You've got TCP, which is like sending a certified letter. It calls ahead with a three-way handshake to make sure the other side is ready, sends the package, and waits for a signature to confirm it arrived. It's slow, but super reliable. Then you have UDP. That's like sending a postcard. You just write it and drop it in the mailbox. It's way faster, but, there's no guarantee it'll get there. Great for stuff like streaming video, where speed is everything. Okay, enough with the theory. Let's get to the good stuff, actually finding flaws. We're going to take a quick look at one of the oldest, most classic web attacks in the book, SQL injection. So just imagine a normal login page. You type in your username, let's say it's Ashish, and you hit enter. Behind the scenes, the website sends a little command, a query, to its database that basically says, hey, go into your big table of users and find the one named Ashish. Makes perfect sense, right? It's just simple logic.
Ah, but this is where that hacker mindset clicks in. What if instead of typing a name, a hacker types this weird little bit of text into the username box? It looks like total gibberish, but it's not. It's a tiny, brilliant logic bomb.
And here's the magic trick. That little bit of text completely changes the database's question. Now the database is being asked, find me a user whose name is blank, or find me a situation where 1 equals 1. Well, does 1 equal 1? Yep, it always does. So the database says, true story, and boom, it logs you in. No password needed. You just bypass the entire security system with a little bit of logic. Now, seeing an exploit like that is super cool, right? But to actually turn this into a career, that takes more than just knowing a few clever tricks. It really takes a certain kind of mindset. And, all the technical skill in the world won't get you there if you're missing the foundation. It really all boils down to just 3 core traits. So what are they?
It's not about being a genius. It's about what you're willing to do. It's the discipline to sit down and practice every single day, especially when it's frustrating. It's the dedication to chase one tiny bug for hours or even days. And it's just plain hard work, because the bad guys are working hard every day to find new attacks, and you have to work harder to stop them.
So, there you have it. The path is laid out, the tools are there for the taking, and the mission, well, the mission has never been more important. Our digital world needs people who know how to protect it. It needs defenders. The only real question left is, are you ready to answer the call?